Welcome to my books and storytime by mybooksummary.com. The Suggestible Brain, the science and magic of how we make up our minds. A detailed summary. Introduction. Have you ever wondered why a sugar pill can sometimes cure a headache? Or why some people are more easily hypnotized than others? What if I told you that your brain is constantly being shaped by the words, beliefs, and expectations around you, often without you even realizing it? This is the fascinating world of the Suggestible Brain, a book by neuroscientist Amir Raz. Amir Raz is not your typical scientist. He's also a magician and hypnotist, which gives him a unique perspective on the power of suggestion. In this book, he dives deep into how our brains are wired to be influenced, how we form beliefs, and how subtle suggestions can shape everything from our perceptions to our actions. Using a mix of neuroscience, psychology, and real-world examples, Raz explores why our minds are so suggestible and how understanding this can help us in our daily lives. This summary will take you through the key themes of the book, showing how suggestion affects everything from medicine to memory, decision-making, and even social behavior. So buckle up, it's going to be a mind-bending journey. The power of suggestion and the brain. Raz begins by explaining that the human brain is not just a passive receiver of information. It actively constructs reality. This means that our perceptions are not always accurate reflections of the world, but rather interpretations shaped by expectations, experiences, and suggestions. One of the most striking examples of this is the placebo effect, a phenomenon where people experience real physiological benefits from treatments that have no active ingredients. Raz explains that the placebo effect works because the brain expects the treatment to work, and that expectation triggers biological changes. The brain releases chemicals like endorphins and dopamine, which can reduce pain and improve mood, showing that belief itself can be a powerful form of medicine. But suggestion goes beyond medicine. Advertisers, politicians, and even teachers use suggestion to shape our decisions and beliefs. If someone tells you a food will taste bad before you try it, chances are you'll actually experience it as tasting bad. If a teacher subtly suggests that certain students are smarter, those students often perform better. This is known as the Pygmalion effect. Raz argues that suggestibility is not just a quirk of human nature, but a fundamental feature of how the brain works. By understanding it, we can learn to use it for good, whether in therapy, education, or even our own self-improvement. Hypnosis and the art of mental influence. A large part of Raz's research focuses on hypnosis, a state where people become highly responsive to suggestion. Some people believe hypnosis is just a stage trick, but Raz shows that it is a scientifically valid phenomenon with real-world applications. Using brain imaging studies, Raz demonstrates that when people are hypnotized, their brain activity changes in ways that allow them to experience suggestions as reality. For example, if a hypnotized person is told they cannot see a color, their brain's visual processing center actually stops responding to that color. Hypnosis has been used for pain relief, addiction treatment, and even improving memory. But Raz warns that it is also a double-edged sword. Just as hypnosis can help, it can also be used to implant false memories. In controversial legal cases, people have recalled events under hypnosis that never actually happened, leading to wrongful accusations. Raz's key takeaway here is that our memories and perceptions are not as solid as we think. They can be reshaped and altered, sometimes without us even knowing. The science of misinformation and false memories. One of the most unsettling aspects of suggestibility is its role in misinformation. Our memories are not perfect records of reality. They are reconstructions that can be easily influenced. Raz explains that the brain is like a storyteller, filling in gaps and adjusting details based on suggestions and expectations. This is why false memories are so common. If someone repeatedly suggests that you saw something happen, even if you didn't, you might eventually remember it as real. This has serious implications, from eyewitness testimony in courtrooms to the way political propaganda works. Governments and media outlets use suggestion to shape public perception, sometimes leading to widespread false beliefs. Raz encourages readers to be more skeptical of their own memories and to question the narratives they are told. By understanding how easily the brain can be influenced, we can become more resistant to manipulation. The role of suggestion in medicine and healing. One of the most practical applications of suggestibility is in medicine. As mentioned earlier, the placebo effect is a powerful example of how the mind can influence the body. Raz describes studies where patients with depression were given placebo pills, yet their brains still released serotonin, the very chemical that antidepressants are designed to increase. In another study, people who believed they were receiving painkillers experienced real pain relief, even though they were only given sugar pills. The implications are huge. If doctors can harness the power of suggestion, they can enhance the effectiveness of treatments and improve patient outcomes. However, this also raises ethical questions. Should doctors trick patients into healing themselves? Raz argues that honesty and positive reinforcement can be a better approach. For example, simply telling a patient that a treatment is likely to work can improve its effectiveness. The social and cultural impact of suggestibility. Raz expands the discussion beyond individual minds to society as a whole. He explains how suggestion plays a role in everything from religion to social norms, advertising, and even economic trends. For example, financial markets can be influenced by collective optimism or pessimism. When enough people believe the stock market will crash, their actions can actually cause it to crash. Similarly, social movements gain momentum when people believe in the power of change. Religions and ideologies also rely on suggestibility. Rituals, symbols, and repeated messages reinforce belief systems, shaping how people perceive the world. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Suggestibility can create community and shared meaning, but it also means that societies are vulnerable to mass manipulation. Raz warns that in today's digital age, suggestion is more powerful than ever. Social media algorithms, fake news, and targeted advertising constantly shape our perceptions and beliefs. He urges readers to be aware of how they are being influenced and to develop critical thinking skills. Final thoughts. So what can we take away from the suggestible brain? First, suggestion is not just a trick. It is a fundamental part of how our minds work. From the placebo effect to hypnosis, false memories, and social influence, our brains are constantly being shaped by the world around us. Second, while suggestibility can be used for good, such as in medicine and education, it can also be exploited. Whether it's misinformation, manipulation, or implanted memories, we need to be aware of how easily we can be influenced. Finally, Raz argues that understanding suggestibility can help us take control of our own minds. By recognizing when we are being influenced, we can make more conscious decisions, improve our mental well-being, and even use suggestion to our advantage, whether it's overcoming fears, breaking bad habits, or simply being more resilient to external influences. Recommendations. If you're interested in psychology, neuroscience, or just understanding why we think the way we do, The Suggestible Brain is a must-read. Amir Raz's insights will change the way you see yourself and the world around you. For those who want to go deeper, I recommend checking out Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. Explores how our brains make decisions. Influence by Robert Cialdini. A deep dive into how persuasion works. The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg shows how habits and suggestions shape our behavior. In a world where we are constantly bombarded by information, learning how our brains process suggestion can help us become more mindful, critical thinkers. So, next time you hear something that seems too good to be true, ask yourself, am I being influenced by suggestion? And remember, your brain is more suggestible than you think. Stay tuned for more enlightening content. Head over to www.mybooksummary.com. Don't forget to subscribe and share the magic with friends. And let's grow together through the power of books and interesting stories.